All right, so this is Chris and Kevin, the post-game review.
Yeah. So right here, we just got off the ice, just the sheet of ice behind us, fresh from the shower. So Chris had the opportunity to get a set of loaners from United Sport and Cycle. Thank you very much. They've got a fantastic demo program here in Edmonton, Alberta. For any goalies wanting to try any of their gear, feel free to hit them up. Chris has gone through, he's always seeing the latest and greatest and seeing how it is. Last week we had eFlex 6 here on the video. This week we've got the Hyperlite 2 back again. Tell us a little bit of what we've got here.
So they have a full offering of the Bauer Vapor Hyperlite 2 set. But what I wanted to do, because this was an option that was available, this is the two-piece vapor blocker. So I know that some people like this option, so I wanted to give it a shot. And this is the Vapor 90 catcher. So that has the 90-degree break. That is the current darling of the internet, it seems like, or from whatever forums and things that I read.
Yeah, everyone's seeming to like really love this catcher, and it snaps shut. It's like the classic 90-degree. You've got the little bend in the T as you close, and compared to when we had this glove a few weeks ago, it is snappy right now, and it's such a deep pocket. It concaves right in and sucks pucks right in. You were fighting it a little bit this week, I found, but it wasn't as bad as when you tried the 581 last week.
Which is a different beast to deal with.
Yes, that's a discussion for a different time, but early reactions, this does feel true to, what the comparable 580 would be.
Yeah, I think it's a good offering from Bauer for the people who want this type of glove. I know it's just not a style of glove that I am accustomed to. Early on, I was really just kind of waving my hand at the puck, but eventually I think I was catching a few more.
Yeah.
I was just getting beat below the glove sometimes because I don't know, it just was not where I wanted to be. So there were some squeakers that were below, and as I was shooting, or I was trying to make the save, I missed some of those. But I think at least the way that they've constructed this for the game ready feel, it definitely felt good to be able to feel that there. And Kevin's just opening up the strapping. It's a very traditional strapping, for nothing unusual or too different. It's more just really offering that kind of closure that people...
Yeah, so I know on some of the newer Bauer gloves, they offer their ROM, range of motion strapping system. So I believe they've got rid of the cuff on a lot of their other catchers. That's still present right here. So as Chris alluded to, it's a very traditional strapping setup. Nothing too special to speak of, but there's going to be an option right up at the fingers, one at the back of the hand, and one right down on the wrist, just to really get all of your adjustments in place. Nothing more to speak about that, really.
Yeah. So I think the game ready feel for this glove feels nice once it's broken in. Not necessarily the glove that I'm used to, but I can see why people like it, especially once it's broken in and kind of catches. I think I had one of those I had one that was just around the ear, so I kind of...
You got it.
Those.
Yeah, that was a nice windmill.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that was nice. So this is the blocker, as a two-piece blocker. I guess it's for people who want to have this style of blocker with Bauer. It's just a very familiar blocker to me.
It is. In the past, I had the Reactor 6000 series blocker, and this is a continuation of that. I believe that blocker really rolled into the 1X, and those were some of the final styles that JRZ designed. And, this takes homage from that, sticks to that traditional design, and it's very comfortable. The palm, you've got just a very traditional, I think, just Nash, or is that Quattro that they use here? But
I think it's just Nash, yeah.
Yeah, nothing too fancy, but it feels comfortable. The rebounds just pop. They fly off of that. I mean, I was on the other end just kind of jealous. I have a really old blocker, and they're sort of just going 2 feet in the air every blocker save I made. And this, right to the corners, right up in the air, they'd fly right off.
Yeah. One thing, I don't know if this is just a quirk of this blocker or this order, but the stalls are giant. They're so thick. So I was noticing that. So especially in contrast to some of the styles where other gloves are trying to fit a bit more snug, in the palm, there's a lot more play. So I don't know if that's a feature of this blocker particularly or just from this order, but something that I would... be mindful of if that's something that's important to you.
And there's fantastic wrist mobility. As you can see, the cuff is flared a little bit forward and has an extra flex cut. So you can really bend that wrist to present to the board.
Yeah. So this is the Hyperlite 2 pad. I actually really like this. One of the things that I did was I made the toe offset, and that was just the right amount of tension for me in the way that I wanted to feel on my skate. I felt really secure in the butterfly, just like it really was a nice seal. Whatever it is that they've done with the brackets here, I thought that was really nice. Driving down to the ice, I think I got beat 5 a couple of times, but I think as far as sliding and moving, I was pretty happy with how this was sliding as I was trying to get across.
Yeah, like it's a good combination of a bunch of different factors that really play into the slide here. I mean, you've got the Stabiliflex knee and what they've done on the calf as well. With the mock, they had 2 brackets running across from the face of the pad into here. Here with this pad, it's only 1. So it's going to be stiff, but you still have that little bit of flex. That combined with the slider skin you've got right here and the Cortex all along the face. I might be wrong on the Cortex, but this makes rebounds pop. It makes this sliding surface is, I'm going to say, one of the best in the market after, whatever Brian and Vaughn are using. And overall, like the strapping, again, you've got the Tune Fit 2.0, really simple. Just one strap down to the knee or across, adjustable. And then on the inside, you've got the Tune Fit 2.0 strap. So that actually attaches on an inside point versus the original, which would come out here. One little thing we noticed is we kind of felt this attachment point just kind of dig into our outside knee pad. Maybe it could be softer. It's already a quite soft piece, but it's just a little bit of a small bit of annoyance we noticed.
Yeah, so that loop, even though I had knee pads on, it was this loop here that I could feel. So nothing major, except that I was like, oh, that's something I was not expecting to feel.
Yeah, like on my initial try on of these, I noticed that they were a lot tighter on the leg compared to the traditional Tune Fit that you'd find on, say, a Bauer GSX or, the Vapor 2X before they moved on to this newer system with the Hyperlite. With this, it really replicates the Professor strap, really taking away the need for another strap. So at the very top here, you're able to really stay closer to the shin, along with the Nash material allowing for really good rotation on the pad. One more call out that Chris, the moment he put it on in the dressing room, is the material they use on the knee block here. It is very grippy. So it will grip on your knees, giving you that extra control, especially when you're down in the butterfly. Just everything moves as one piece between the solid knee block, the solid calf plate, the grippy knee block, the tighter strapping, and it's designed to really move with you. This pad, obviously being the softer line, more of a, I guess what Bauer liked to call it, a battle fly 5-6 years ago.
Well, that's the reactor, wasn't that?
Yeah, that was the reactor, and obviously the reactor became the Vapor. So, this is still built for that type of goalie. You've got a very soft boot. Very soft boot. The rest of the pad, there's a bit of flex, but not too much. But with a pad like this, you don't necessarily need all that flex just because you do get, a little bit of a pre-curve. Obviously, this being a brand new pad, it's not as much as, if you want to force it in, but not really needed on a modern pad like old days.
Yeah, and actually I was trying to see how it felt with the stiffness above the knee. And really, like, I have come to find that as long as the pad is curved, I'm okay with that and just sized appropriately, then I feel like I can move as much as, well, my skill allows me to. But yeah, I wouldn't call this like super duper soft. I think it's probably softer than what previous iterations of Bauer pads were. But at the very least, I felt that it was sufficiently thin enough and curved enough that I could move, that I didn't feel like I was fighting the tops of the pads. My butterfly is very narrow, so it's not like I got too much to work with, but at least I didn't find that this was a point of annoyance when I was putting it on.
Yeah, like in terms of overall flex, I would say if we're comparing to previous Bauer lines, I would say it's actually a little bit stiffer than the original Hyperlite, but it's definitely not as stiff as the 2X. Because I found from the 2X to the Hyperlite, they actually softened it up quite a bit, especially in the boot. Like the boot, they really made soft in the last generation. That's the biggest thing I noticed when I was just, kind of flexing them in store. That boot was just, it moved. And so does this. It's a very flexible, soft boot that, it'll move with you, really help you just kick out.
Yeah, and I mean, I would say my final thought on the on the pad is that it was really responsive to me. I felt that with the toe offset, it was moving the way I wanted below. The tune fit kept it tight, or like it was snug to my pad or to my leg, and you know, with the I really found that when I got it down, it really sealed well. So I was trying to go up and down and see how that would feel too, as pretty responsive as much as I would like out of a pad.
For sure. And yeah, overall, I think we both like this pad quite a lot. You know, the entire line here. Obviously, the glove and blocker we have are not stock, but great feel overall. The fit and finish so far, we're pretty impressed.
Let's grab that fold over. I think some of these, some of these puck marks are me when I'm like
The 7-hole, yeah.
I think that's me right there. But yeah, I think that's pretty fun.
Yeah, I think that was a good skate too.
So this is Chris and Kevin doing our post skate review of the Bauer Hyperlite 2.